chicken coop, so I'm dragging it out.
We had some rain and this got flooded, so we're about to dump it. We actually bought this Rhino and this little quad last year sometime. It needing some work, and Joe worked on it over the last 2 months. He got this running and he got this running. And even though this doesn't have a hitch, Joe came up with a way to pull this. So I am super happy because I won't be having to haul things out by hand like I usually do. And let's see how this works. Oh, that works. Worked. Nice. I would have never thought of that.
Watch out.
Gonna dump it right here.
Yeah, hold on.
What's the generator for?
Our tools.
Oh, the cutting tools?
Yeah. Holy fucker.
That is heavy. So I know Lead Farmers 73 is always talking about being prepared and having generators. We have this little handy thing that helps us work at the ranch and do some work. This is
full of water.
That's full of water. Okay, I'll go help. This is one of the projects we've been needing to do. As you guys can see, these branches are basically covering this pathway to get to the inside of the chicken coop. And furthermore, we've noticed that at night there's some rats climbing this, jumping on the chicken coop and getting onto the barn, which is a big no-no. We actually found some rats in there eating some of our chicken food, so that was concerning, but we're hoping to address it by cutting this, trimming it and limiting the space. Well friends, as you guys can see, we're going to do a big cutting here, a big trim on this tree because we want to make sure that it's clear, open, no rats are climbing into the barn and getting into the chicken coop and the food. And as you can see, the generator really comes in handy, being able to use some of your tools in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of, well, our little homestead here. It's 4 acres, so sometimes we do need to do some work further away from the property, from the house where there is electricity. So the generator comes in handy. It's definitely an essential in basically for anybody, in my opinion, because if the power goes down, you can use it for lighting, for your refrigerator to keep your food, you know, from rotting, and it's come in handy. We use this, we used it for so many things here on our property, and it's come in handy. I cannot remember where we got this from, but we had it for a while. We also have a bigger generator to power more than what we need. They can be charged by a solar through electricity or by gasoline, so it's a dual chargeable generator. So I think it's pretty amazing. I know I don't do many videos about what we have going on for prepping, but I do want you guys to start thinking about prepping. And if it's just getting one tree that produces lemons, if it's one tree that produces some sort of fruit that your family can benefit from, I highly suggest that you guys start thinking about this. I know a lot of you guys are in rentals and smaller locations, but if you guys have been following me for a long time, you will know and remember my little tiny garden that I used to have on the very side narrow part of my house, and I was able to grow so many fruit trees in that little space, and I would just move them around and just make space. As they grew, I would shift them so that way the other ones can also get some sunlight, and I just made it work, guys. And somehow I would always squeeze the new plant that I had growing, and somehow it just worked out, and I had tons and tons of fruit trees in containers. And you know, when we moved, we had literally a moving truck full of my fruit trees with 3 or 4 more trucks loaded with fruit trees, which was kind of bizarre. I wish I had some videos, but I was just focused on moving and making sure no plants got left behind, that I didn't even record that process. But I really wish I would have, because there were so many trees that I had piled up in such a small area. Go back to my old videos and go see how small my garden was. You will be surprised. Look at my chickens. I am so excited to spy on them a little bit. Our rooster sees us working here outside of the coop, and he is making sure that his ladies are staying inside the coop and under the coop. That way nothing happens to them. He's a very friendly rooster, thankfully, because my past rooster, the original one that I had, Tennessee, he was just not nice at the end before he got devoured by something. But this one, he's very friendly. He knows that I feed him. He lets me get close to them, and he makes sure that the ladies go inside when things just don't seem right. And he's quite a friendly, nice looking rooster. That was a big branch. Move out of the way. Holy moly. You're strong. Wow, it looks a lot open now. Careful. Start lifting them?
Huh?
Should I start putting them in there? I'm not sure what Joe's gonna do, but let me check how many eggs we have here. Oh, hi there. Oh, there she goes. For some reason, they like this little plastic container that used to be at my other coop. And how many do we have? I already took 5 this morning. Right now we have another 5, 6, 7, 8. And the ones I took from this morning, I think were from late last night. So we're getting a good handful of eggs, which I'm really happy about. These girls have been really productive. Hi there. And they seem to be liking it here. We'll see how well they do now that we cut some of these branches off. We're going to be getting some more sun over here for them, which is a good thing for them. In the summer, I'm sure they'll still be fine, because I'm sure there'll be some shade still. I'm thinking about putting a pot here with the passion fruit and letting it vine all along this side. We'll see. Look at the girls. just looking over here. Really open. Every night that I come over here, I'm afraid I'm gonna have spider webs in my face because I had all these branches hanging here. And as you can see, no more branches. This is gonna be really nicely open and prevent rats from crawling on the barn. And it'll prevent me from getting bit by spiders and easier access. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with all this extra chicken stuff. Maybe put it here in this little, it used to be a playhouse, but we pretty much turned it into a storage. Lily didn't like coming in here, so we have the chicken food in here, all the extra chicken food, and our little cushions for an outdoor couch. So I might just put the extra stuff in here. Oh, smart. So, oh, you brought the green container. Were you able to pull it with the quad? You were able to pull it with the quad? Unfortunately, we don't have a leaf shredder or a shredder to shred all of these little branches. That would be amazing for mulch. So we're going to just cut these branches into smaller pieces, put them in the greenways. That way we can get rid of it for now. There's plenty of leaves that I can use for mulch, and I have piles, little mountains of mulch, so I will not be needing this for mulch. But ideally, if you don't have access to mulch, I highly recommend that when you cut trees like this, that you try to chop and drop whatever you can. Since we're doing this very quick and I do have tons of mulch, I'm going to just use this for, I'm just going to get rid of it through the waste, through the green waste. And we're just going to try to fit everything that we have in this trash can. We rarely use the green waste basket, but since we did have to cut some branches off, we're going to take advantage of it and use it. I think this is going to be like the first time we actually use it, or maybe a couple of times since we moved into this property we've used it. But like I said, I usually just use everything as mulch. It helps the plants and it breaks down and it feeds your trees. So for now, we're going to use it for this time, and I just couldn't believe that we were able to fit everything into this one container. Well, I thought that was everything, but right now as I looked, he had a huge branch on the wagon that he put with the quad. As you can see, he took it back. I'm not sure what he did with it, to be quite honest with you. He may have put it in a pile of all the branches that we've cut in the past that he needs to just break down. But I totally didn't even see this ginormous branch that he moved out of the way. But he did drag that out there with the quad. This quad has come in handy so much. I am so excited to start using it, especially since I want to be moving some wood chips to the backside of my property, where I have some orange trees that they came with the property, and they're very well established. However, the fruit doesn't taste as delicious as it should. It doesn't taste as juicy as it should. And I think what we need to do is just add amend the soil, add some mulch, and give it some more deep watering, because they are very older established trees. And I have a feeling that once I start doing that, these trees are going to have delicious fruit. So that's my goal. I haven't done it because I didn't want to haul buckets of mulch by hand. So now that I have this little quad, I'm going to fill up my wagon that you saw here earlier, and I'm going to just haul all of this mulch. That way I can do what I need to. Hopefully I can get this done before spring and summer. That way these trees are ready to go for this upcoming year. I'm also going to be working on the hillside and adding mulch. I'll show you guys in a little bit later on in this video what I've done on the hillside while during this winter time, and during this time that you guys haven't seen much of me. That was pretty quick, right?
Want me to clean that up or no? Just leave it.
No, because there's like natural mulch to that tree. What I want to know is what that pipe's for and where it's going. What is it watering? And is it on? It's metal. I thought this was plastic. It's actual metal. Where do you think that goes to? wonder if the chickens would like this branch. I should have saved a good branch for them to roost on. Let's see. Just gonna put it right here in the corner. Oh, there's an egg. Somehow they always lay, one of them also always laying an egg right there. There, that would be good. Put a little branch in there for them. Oh, good. Here's another egg. They always lay one egg in the tire. I'm gonna put it back in here for now. Sorry, lady. She's hanging out. She moved the eggs out of the way. I wonder if it holds heat. That's why they're on that plastic. Well, friends, just like any other project that I work on, once I'm done, we like to clean up, get things back organized, so that way next time we have another project, things are where they're supposed to be. We know where to find them, we know what to do with them, and it's easy for us to work on projects when things are organized. So we're just gonna tidy up this whole area, make it look a little neat. I'm moving everything to the side so that way it can get some sun, dry out, and then eventually when it's dried out, probably tomorrow, I'll stack it up and put it somewhere neatly. So that's what I'm going to do now. But while I'm here, later on in this video, I'm going to talk to you about growing things in containers and growing, just getting started in growing something so you guys can get some food under your belt, growing some food. So what I'm going to suggest is while you're watching this video, I want you to think of one thing that you've seen in my videos that I have that you are interested in growing. And that one thing that you guys are interested in growing, what I'm going to do is make a video on that specific plant or that specific tree, whatever it is that you've seen in my garden. I want to pick one thing that we can talk about, and I can tell you all about what I've learned through the process of growing that one specific tree or plant, whatever it is that you guys have seen that you want me to talk about. That way I can help you guys with the knowledge that I've gathered from growing these fruit trees in my garden, growing in a container, and some of them are growing in the ground. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what is it one thing that you are interested in growing that you guys would like to hear a little bit more about it, and I'll be happy to do that video for you. Well, friends, as you guys can see, it looks so much better. It's so open. I can walk over here if I needed to get like a wagon and drag things here. Is not going to be an issue anymore, which I'm pretty happy about because it was an issue before for me. I'm not going to have any spider webs on me, and hopefully no rats are going to jump over to the roof of our barn. As you guys can see, the chickens are happy. Hopefully it doesn't affect them that much. I don't think it was blocking much of air. It was definitely giving them more shade, which is something that for the winter is not good. It's good that they're going to get more sun hopefully in the summer. It doesn't have much effect because the sun will be more over it instead of sideways what it is now in the winter. So I think they're going to be fine. I do have to get these eggs. I wish I would have brought my basket. I have plenty of eggs here right now. So let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have to come back and grab them. I wanted to go talk to you guys to the orchard side, go to the orchard side and talk to you guys a little bit about what my plants are and what's going on. Hopefully you guys can hear me through the wind because it is pretty windy. But Lead Farmer 73 has been doing a lot of videos about getting prepared, and I 100% agree with him. We need to be prepared because the last 2 years had just been chaos. I think so many things have changed. Our way of thinking and living has definitely changed due to the big C, and you guys know that things are changing and we need to prepare. Whether something happens or not, we definitely need to prepare and be ready for whatever happens. And one of the biggest things you guys can do is grow some food. Have your own source of food, because even if it's some fruits and some vegetables and you have a little bit of grain stored, you will be able to survive You guys know the times are hard right now. Things are getting so expensive. We went to buy rice and some stuff to stock up a little bit. We couldn't believe how expensive everything was, and it's only going to continue to go up because everything's inflating. I guess transportation for all our goods are getting it's getting harder to get them over here. Gas is going up, everything's going up, so everything's gonna go up. So even if nothing happens, I highly suggest that you guys at least purchase things in bulk so you guys can store. Hi Lily.
Hi.
And you guys can save some money in the long run. And I'll show you guys in a little bit what I purchased to store some of my grains, so we can have at least, I don't know, 6 months worth of food, and then just restock up as we go. Maybe if the big bags won't be available after a while, maybe just buy small bags and eventually it'll add up, and just use what I have in my containers. I'll show you guys in a little bit, but I did want to come out here and show you guys that even though I haven't been posting a lot of videos, I'm working really hard at what I am doing out here. I definitely want to complete this hillside. Last year I wasn't able to complete it. I started it. I got, you know, I would say maybe 20% of it. I grew a lot of perennials, so which means that they die afterwards. As you can see on my basil's completely dead, and I'm okay with that because I needed to take a moment to take a full season and understand what was going to grow where. As you guys can see here, I'm gonna step back so you guys can see what I have going on. I'm slowly filling up green. There's a lot of brown that I need to pull out, which is the dead basil. But if you guys can see where those shovels are, that's where an evergreen tree is going to go. This one and this one. The one right above, I decided to put my queen, snow queen. I hope you guys can hear me through this very windy day, but it's going to be my snow queen nectarine. And Lily's gonna be helping me soon. We're gonna be out here in the garden digging up holes, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be planting some delicious trees that's gonna give you some fruit for the summer and the spring, right? You're excited about that?
Yeah.
Do you like coming outside and grabbing a snack from the garden?
I don't find any.
Oh, well, we don't have any right now, but when we have some in the garden, do you remember our old garden, how there was always fruit in the trees?
Yeah.
Which was your favorite fruit to pick?
The green apples.
The green apples. Oh, and that tree, we left it behind, huh?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to get an apple tree. It's definitely been on my mind. I went to a nursery.
I wanna get a strawberry tree.
Strawberries don't grow on trees, Mama.
Then a strawberry plant.
Yes, they grow. So strawberries, let's teach somebody something. They grow on little, it's just a little plant on the ground. They actually have runners, and then you can grow more strawberries. So I do have some strawberry starters, and I haven't decided where I want to put them. I want to put them somewhere safe. I've planned out my stepping stones finally. So as you guys can see, where all of the mulch is, these are going to be stepping stones, and we're not going to be growing much. Where I have the shovels, that's where I'm going to be putting my kumquats. I decided to put my kumquats here. I'm going to pull them out of the containers, and I'm going to buy new kumquats to put in my containers because I love the look of kumquats. They're delicious. They look amazing. And so I'm going to put a kumquat here, and maybe I'll grow onions surrounding the kumquat because gophers do not like onions. As you guys can see here, my onions and garlics have been thriving. So that's going to be one of the crops that I'm going to be surrounding my trees with the dirt lockers, as you can see here. And with that being said, I'm gonna alternate it. So one year I'll grow the onions, then I'll put some mulch and let it replenish the soil, and then the next year maybe I'll grow something different that helps the soil get replenished, and then I'll start all over the year after that. But as you guys can see here, I created a pathway, so that way when these trees start growing, I actually have room to travel in between. This one can be trimmed down, which is my lavender, and it can be removed if need be, because I'm going to have this calamari, I'm going to have this jujube, I'm going to have my nectarine. Right behind is a Mexican key lime, pineapple guava, like I said, 2 kumquats, and along this line I'm going to be putting my some more pineapple guava bushes because they're evergreen, and my hope and goal is to do a heart at the shape of the pineapple guava. I am saving up for it. I do have a PayPal account if you guys want to contribute to that goal that I have growing up. If you don't, I completely understand. But I do suggest for you guys to go out there and get some fruit trees. They are so expensive. I've been looking for a couple trees. One is the persimmon. Fuji persimmon is my goal. I've been looking everywhere. I have not been able to find anywhere. I think I finally found one. I'm gonna place an order. Lily is dying to have apples again because she loves apples, and we don't have any apple trees anymore. They were all at the old house and they stayed because they were in the ground. So we're gonna be looking for that, guys. I just finished watching Lead Farmer 73's video, and I really wanted to get on here and really encourage you guys to get out there and start planting something and start buying something. And like he said, maybe buy some plants and put them in pots if you're renting. You guys seen my old house. My old house was a tiny little garden, and give me 1 second, Lily, okay? Tiny little garden, and I had all of my fruit trees in containers. In fact, a lot of them are still over there by where I call it my nursery section. And you know, I moved here and I'm slowly putting them in the ground, but they were thriving and growing and producing fruit even in containers. You guys can go back and see all those videos and see that you can still grow them in containers and they will thrive and grow. In fact, you will have probably less issues with growing them and like I'm having in a big area like this. You know, that's why I'm slowly putting them in. I'm not rushing because I want to make sure that once they get put in, they are going to be well taken care of. They're going to get well established, and they're going to be set up for success, not for failure, where the gophers can get to them and maybe the bunnies can chew at the trunk. Maybe they're not at the right location because of the microclimate. So it's very important that you take your time when you put them in the ground, and that's what I'm doing now. However, if you're going to grow them in containers, I have tons of videos about talking about microclimate. It's very important when you have them in containers that you select the correct location for it. Also talk about the watering, also talk about the soil, also talk about the mulch. All of that is so important when you are growing fruit trees in containers because it has a big effect on them, because the pot that you give them to, that is the only resource that the tree has, and it's going to rely a lot on you. So go back and look at those videos so you guys can see what I'm talking about, you guys can hear what I'm talking about, and you guys can set up your fruit trees in containers for success. And for those of you who don't have a place and will eventually, you guys can have them thriving and growing until the minute that you guys get the opportunity to buy a property and you're able to put them in the ground. So I just wanted to come out here, show you guys that I spent all day. I wish I would have recorded it, but I was so task driven that I just decided to keep going. And I carry mulch by hand with the wagon over here, and I decided to finally create this pathway to help me visualize my goals that I have here, my dream that I'm working towards. And as you guys can see, there's the pathway. There's going to be a tree there like I mentioned, and then in between I'm probably going to be growing a fruit, perennials, maybe some flowers. So we'll see. My main idea is to get the skeleton of this whole hillside going, and by what I mean skeleton, I mean the fruit trees that are going to be setting roots deep down in this hill and growing and thriving, and then eventually I can grow things in between them, because this is such a large space that once I get the main trees in, while those are growing, I'm going to be growing things in between, like garlic and onions and zucchinis, you know, a lot of things that I can grow. And then once this hillside, then I'm going to start my vegetable garden right over there like I mentioned in previous videos. But I'm not going to wait for one thing to start another thing. So I am just going to continue to purchase trees because there's certain trees that I want to have, like that Lily wants, and certain trees that I want. My husband loves pears. I might try growing a pear because it is pretty cold here. We do have a lot of chill hours, so I might find one that succeeds in this area. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm making this video to encourage you guys to get out there and buy something start something, start in containers. In fact, I'm gonna walk over there and show you how some trees are growing in containers. For those of you that are new to my channel and haven't seen my container garden, I know I talked lately, I've been talking a lot about my fruit trees, and I have a lot on the ground now. My loquat, which is my ultimate favorite, I'm gonna get a champion, can't say it. Loquat, I have a golden nugget. I also have another golden nugget and growing in a container, and actually in just a 5-gallon bucket with this little system called Grow. Look at this, Grow bucket, and I add the water here. There's a little bit of water, and it waters this tree without me having to worry about whether or not it's getting the accurate water. You guys see? Look at these amazing Meyer lemons. Aren't those amazing? Growing in a container. That's been there a couple years. My pride and joy, like always, guys. This is my Eureka lemon tree that's growing aspiller. I trained it myself. It's growing and thriving here. It has tons of lemons. It is amazing, guys. I realized that this pink guava, I'm really gonna have to figure out where to put it because it is not liking the frost. So I have my avocado tree. Friends, I have lots of trees in containers, and I have to organize this whole section because spring is coming and I am gonna have to get ready to put some of these in the ground. But all of these are my stone fruits that will and have gone dormant during the winter. But California is so weird that, look at this. Can you believe this? We actually have some buds and some little leaves, which is insane, guys. We are still in the middle of winter. So that's where we're at, guys. Start growing. I've been blessed with this greenhouse, been blessed with this property, and now I could grow a lot of things that I wanted to. I have more space to put them in the ground. It is a lot more work, but I gotta tell you, friends, I have to tell you that I didn't have all of this, nor did I start with all of this. I started with one plant at a time, one plant first. Experimented with that, learned about it, grew with it. Okay, I grew with the plant, meaning that while the plant was growing, I was learning. And I think you guys could do the same. Don't be afraid to go buy a plant. Just pick something that you enjoy, do a little bit of research, see if it grows in your area. If it grows in your area, go look for it, and then start it. Start with something easy. If you guys want, these are the most easiest citrus if you live in zone 7 and up. 7, I would say 8 and up, because I don't know if citrus grow in zone 7 and 8 and up. So Meyer lemon, number 1, easiest tree you could possibly grow. Highly suggest that. The second one would be the Mexican key lime. Super easy for you to grow. They do fantastic. Then the next one will be the Eureka lemon. You need a little bit more space with that and a little bit more patience. Take a little bit longer to produce, but eventually they will produce. So those trees, I highly recommend. Those are the 3 easiest trees for you to grow in a container, and you really don't have to do much other than set them up to success. And I'm going to link a video right above on how to plant your citrus in a container step by step, so that way you can do the same. Friends, I'm so happy to pop in here and show you guys a little project we had going on, that we cut off some branches from my pepper plant next to the chicken coop because it was a mess. It needed to look a little neater, and for other reasons, like I mentioned earlier, we needed to cut those branches. And I just wanted to take a moment to talk to you guys. We're starting the year. I've been taking a lot of time and evaluating how this year is going to go, setting up goals, setting up plans, going through my bills, organizing my cabinets. I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of processing, and I want to go into this year with a good positive mentality, and I want to you know, just have a good positive attitude about what's gonna come this year. And I know last year we all were hoping for the best, and we just kind of wanted to see this year. I know it's gonna be a good year no matter what happens, because it's about preparing and setting yourself up for success, doing the research that you need to do to learn. You know, even if you fail at certain things that you are trying to accomplish, no failure is a failure. It's actually just a lesson that will teach you to get to the step that you want, closer to the goal that you want to get. So please get out there. Don't be afraid to fail. failing is the most amazing thing that can happen to you, because you learn something by failing. And I hate calling it a failing. It's just a lesson. You know, you just get lessons in life. So hopefully you guys get out there and get some lessons under your belt and grow from them and plant something and grow with it, because that's what I've been doing. I just been planning and planning, and I just been growing with it. So I hope that everybody's having an amazing day. I hope that everybody's year started out in a good step. And don't forget, plant something, grow something, and create something beautiful and useful. You guys have a blessed day. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.